We're ready. Mike.
Hi, hello everybody. My name is Sheriff Carl Kanaki. I am the Knox County Sheriff. To my left is Chief Ryan Bishop of the Edina Police Department. And to my right is the Knox County Prosecuting Attorney Andrew Boster. And we've asked today, we want to make the public aware of a incident, a crime that has occurred in Knox County, and we want to get we want to get it out there so that people know what's happening. My office was contacted on the evening of March 6th by a concerned family member for a member of their family, their elderly grandmother, and they was concerned and told us that a individual had been coming to her house and taking large sums of money from her. And at that point, my office responded and started an investigation. Through that, we was able to gather information through interviews and speaking with the victim, and was able to ascertain, that the suspect was potentially coming back to the home, and details of this individual, and was able to get things set up to be ready for this individual to come back to the home. So the Knox County Sheriff's Office, in cooperation with the Office of the FBI out of Kirksville, as well as the Missouri State Highway Patrol and the Scotland County Sheriff's Office, set up and waited for this individual to arrive. We coordinated that through the individual. The suspect arrived and was taken into custody without incident. After this, the subject was transferred to the sheriff's office, and a search warrant was applied for and obtained through the Knox County Circuit Court, and of the vehicle that the suspect was operating at the time of his apprehension. And as a result of that search warrant, $42,600 was seized from the trunk of that car. And we have since applied for an arrest warrant for that subject, and the Honorable Tom Reddington out of Knox County has placed a no bond warrant, and that individual is currently being held at the Lewis County Sheriff's Office. And yes.
Do we ask you questions now, or are those going to make statements?
I figure, if you want, if that's where you want to go.
I just want to clarify a couple things. Where was the rest of the money then that wasn't in the trunk?
Well, so the investigation is very early, so we're still trying to put a lot of pieces together at this time. We are unsure where the rest of the money is at this point.
And when you waited for the defendant to arrive to be arrested, where was that? At her home?
That was at the victim's homes.
Okay. You guys got questions?
Just for my clarification, how much money was originally taken apart from that seized money from the car?
So it's been a total of about $95,000. And
then were there any of these scams circulating the county throughout the past couple months that kind of led up to this? Well,
so now that so I have through my research, reaching out to fellow agencies, it does sound like that there was an incident very similar that took place in Kirksville. I'm not sure of the time frame, and we've had a few of these incidents, a couple that I'm aware of that have took place around other parts of the state. So we want to make the public aware that this is happening, and they're here and they're coming to your homes now, and I just want to remind my citizens, and I mean everybody, that at no time is these particular individuals identified themselves as the FDIC and convinced the victim that her identity had been compromised, and that she needed to retrieve money out of the bank and send it with them in order to save the money, and then they would return it to her at another time. So I want to remind that the FDIC, the Social Security Office, none of these government organizations, the FBI, none of these are going to contact you by email and demand money and tell you any of this. And I just can't stress that enough, to not open suspicious emails and to not answer suspicious calls, and don't communicate with them. And if you do and you think it's suspicious, to call your local law enforcement agency immediately and let them look into it. I also, I think it's important to say that at no time, I just can't say it enough. At no time is any government organization going to contact you in that way. And yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sheriff Echo Menges, the Edina Sentinel.
Yes.
Do you believe there could be other victims in Knox County or in the region that was a victim of this suspect?
So, yes, I was leading. Thank you, Echo, for the question. It's a good question. So, yes, I do believe, based on my initial information that I have since launching this investigation, and based on the evidence that so far has been collected, I do feel that there could be multiple victims of this, possibly in Knox County and possibly we don't know where. So, it's important to say, if you have been a victim and you think you have been a victim, if this has been happening, to call us or contact your local law enforcement agency and let us look into it, because I do believe that there could be other victims of the same individual, yes.
And then can you also talk about the multi-agency response to this sting operation? Can you just kind of give us an outline of the agencies that were involved, and if possible, what parts they played in the arrest?
Sure. So once again, the multi-agency response is the Northeast Missouri law enforcement they have. We all work great together, and I contacted Sheriff Whitney and asked for out of Scotland County and asked for his assistance. He provided a deputy. I contacted the FBI office. They provided. The Highway Patrol was very responsive, and they were just part of the strategic setting for this individual in case things went south, and they didn't. Great, we got him into custody without incident. So.
And then how closely did you work with the Edina Police Department, and how key is your new deputy in conducting this operation with his background in law enforcement?
Oh, I mean, Deputy Travis has a great history, with the, been in law enforcement a long time, and he's a good investigator, and he started the investigation, and we looked into it with the cooperation of everybody, and everybody did a great job, and it all came together. And yes, I mean, everybody has a valid piece of the puzzle, and Chief Bishop assisted with the city of Edina and was pivotal in this operation.
Just to clarify, I think you mentioned this before we started recording. The woman was initially contacted by email.
She was.
And then arrangements were made for the gentleman to come to her house.
She responded to the email, and then that's when it started, and she got a phone number, and they started talking over the phone, and that's when he started manipulating her into doing why we're here.
I just have one more. Do you believe that this individual, if there are more individuals involved with this particular situation, this individual is, is this kind of a lone wolf, or is there more people that you're investigating? And also, are you aware of any kind of home base or operational center or place that he's operating out of that could be local, seeing as he's been to the same address every day this week until he was arrested?
We're not sure at this time where, I don't know yet. The investigation's young, and we have a lot of other paperwork, and we have a lot of things to do before we get those answers. There could be, potentially, there probably is several other individuals involved in this, yes.
for the sheriff.
Question?
Good.
You can transfer it over if you'd like, sure. It doesn't have to be too high, Andrew, just spread it out. Yep, that's fine.
On the collar or on the tie?
It's stupid the way I got it set up here, sorry. Just, oops, sorry. Find your way.
You're fine.
The Knox County Prosecutor's Office would just like to thank law enforcement for their tireless efforts in investigating this case and referring charges to my office as quickly as possible. As stated by Sheriff Knox, felony charges have been filed against the accused. In this particular case, 3 felony counts, 2 Class B felonies, and 1 Class C felony. I would just like to reiterate what the sheriff has said, and want to make sure that members of our community are becoming more aware of events like this, and to make themselves or educate themselves more as to scam-like activities that they can avoid. The prosecutor's office is dedicated to ensuring that justice is done and that victims' rights are upheld. Thank you.